Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to Primary Teaching with Dom. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to Primary Teaching with Dom.
You ain't like the mother clouds. I was lost and now I'm found. My Christmas blessing. My Christmas blessing. Your presence is a present.
I did that music kind of thing. I love doing it, and I look back at my previous videos, I was like, oh, I've got to do it. But I will say that in this video, which I hate, and it happened in my last video, like this is all tucked out here like this, and I'm like, ugh! And I hate when it does it, and I think it's because I'm sitting up against the wall. So next time, I'm going to make sure that I wear something that is not a jumper-esque like, and then start wearing it properly. I don't know if it looks this, I don't know what it looks like now, but enjoy the video. Hello and welcome back to Primary Teaching with Dom. So in this video, we are going to go over behavior strategies, so like behavior management. I've done 2 videos on this, and now this will be my 3rd because, you know, why not upgrade every single year? As teachers, we are always trying to upgrade, do things differently. You know, this behavior strategy worked here, so this is going to work better. And we're always trying to evolve. So my behavior strategies, I haven't really looked at my past 2 videos, so it's going to be quite cool to see whether I have upgraded them, whether they're the same or whether they're different. So let's get on with the video. So behavior strategies in general are very, very difficult because it depends on your class. So what I might have done in my first year teaching definitely or may not, or may, I'm going to say may not work in your next year or the year after that. I know teachers that are always constantly involved in their behavior strategies, and there's been a lot of talking, oh, how do you deal with this or how do you deal with that and certain things. So let's just say in my first year teaching, my behavior strategies are completely different to how they were in my second year, and my second year somewhat similar, but now has changed in my 3rd year teaching. So I feel, maybe, I don't know whether that's the case, that every single year it will evolve slightly depending on the children that you have and blah, 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 blah. So my first kind of behavior strategy that I would use is the one that I call the stare. And the stare is always the greatest one you can do because you just give yourself a deadpan look like, and what that does, sometimes, depending on your children, it shows that you're waiting. It shows that you're not necessarily happy with what's going on and you're waiting. So rather than actually using your voice, because as teachers, we have to use it all the time, sometimes it's, and then when they do something right, I'll go, okay, right, back on. And I will smile because then that's a sign saying, okay, now what you've done is now correct. I can move on. I do that quite a lot because my children know my look. They know my look. And it helps me not to really speak a lot. So I like doing that one. And it's really good, very effective. It communicates so much without you need to communicate at all like that. It's just the eyes stare, and you stare around the class, you might look. The next one I do is on a whiteboard, and I've been doing it since the beginning of me teaching year 3. I will get a whiteboard. So if I'm waiting, I'll get myself a whiteboard, I'll get myself a pen, and I'll sit down on my chair in front of them, and I'll go, and I'll write down names. And they will see me, and I'll look around, I'll be like, okay, looking this way, and look at you. And they know it's time for them to stop talking. It's another way of me not actually talking, but them knowing that it's time for them to shh. Because they know on that whiteboard is not necessarily good. Or sometimes, majority of the time, I do it for good. I'm like, oh, well done to. Oh, well done to. Well done. Oh, yeah. And I will do it that way. And they know that it's time to be quiet and it's time to focus. And I do that quite a lot as well because I don't like talking too much, especially when I have to repeat myself a lot. So those are one of my 2 most effective ways. My next one is consequence, which the consequences could be endless. As teachers, we have many consequences, playtime, losing lunchtime, you'll get a slip going home, whatever your behavior management or strategies are in your school. One of my greatest ones is levels. So what I do is when they're getting ready for lunch or they get, let's say playtime, we're getting ready to go out for playtime and there's no talking because obviously it's stagnated because of COVID and you don't all go at the same time anymore. So what I do is I do level 0 means look at me. Level 1, stand up. And I only make that instruction once. So if they do it correctly, we got to levels. There's level 10. It goes up to level 10 because by the time we get to level 10, we're outside. But if they talk any time during that process, we go back to level 0. That means sitting down, waiting for everyone to sit down. And I do that. And my children at the first didn't believe me. They took me for a joke and they thought it was all ha ha ha, kiki ha ha ha. But then when they realized that the playtime was over, they quickly realized when it came to lunchtime, I wasn't playing. So I go level 2, tuck your chair in. Level 3, turn and face your jackets. Level 4, get your jackets and line up. And it's instructions, one, good for very instructional, and you can place your prepositions, stand next to, all of that stuff. But it also gives you time to not have to raise your voice. You don't have to be telling, oh, you have to stop talking and talk. It's levels, but you have to make sure it's one consistent, and you have to make sure that they understand that there's a consequence to not following the rule, but there's also, what do they call it? They also get a reward for listening. So they get to go to playtime early, or, they get to have the fun, teacher back. And those kind of things, you reward children as you go along. But they also do know you break those rules as a consequence for it. The next one, my next behavior strategy is lowering of the tone. So this one is very effective because when I'm speaking, you have to make sure that you're listening to what I'm saying. Because I can tell you, for you to have early playtime or for you to have lunch early, you've got to stand up. And a lot of the time, they're and you get one child that does it, you're like, oh, well done. Good for you, well done. You get dojo points or tokens or whatever your school gives. And other children are like, huh? And they all start standing up. It is a great way, very effective, just lower your tone. Because now, when they need a silent classroom, you need to make sure that you're aware of what I'm saying. Because me whispering means that you are listening if you get the instruction. So I love doing that as well. Because it stops the raising of the voice. Now, sometimes you have to expand the voice with your microphone, letting the children know that it is time to listen. But you don't always want to be doing that. So sometimes it's nice. And that's how I do it. My next behavior one, which I do love the most, is rewards. So in my classroom, I'm a very, very strict teacher and I love doing it and I'm not going to change. And children love it. So do some parents. But I also, because I'm strict, I give quite a few rewards. So I go along with our behavior reward system at school, but also do raffle tickets as well. So if they answer a question correctly using a full sentence, or they've explained it well, or they've been sitting down, they've been paying attention, they're ready for learning, their behavior for learning is there, I give them a raffle ticket and I say, who am I going to give 5 raffle tickets to today? And then at the end, they'll get some sort of reward. So it will be like, being my TA for the week. Or it will be standing in front of the line. Or it will be like a small little, what do you call it? It will be no homework for the week. There's like little things that they can get. Or like they get like a little pen. Or something like that they can write with. So little things like that. And they love doing that. I'm like, oh, and all I do, I get the raffle book out and I just sit and I just open it and I start writing names and it works so good because it just goes shh. It goes shh so quickly. So I do all of that and it's really, really good. And the last thing I would say is that I do quite a lot. The last thing I do is to definitely follow my school behavior policy, because it's very important that they understand that behavior policy is not there for fun, is not there for a joke, is there for if a consequence happens, but is also there for rewards as well. So I make sure I'm very stringent and I'm very on it, because as teachers, because the day's so long, we can get a bit lackadaisical, is that the word? We can get a bit relaxed about it. We're like, oh, okay, if you do it again. But I'm very on it. I try to, because they need to understand that the school is here. You come to school, I call it my playpen. This is my house. You've come in to learn. So the behavior things that my school has. I adhere to them quite closely, as well as my own. So yeah, that's the behavior strategies that I have currently. I don't know if it's the same or different from my older ones. I will actually look at my older ones. I might put some clips in here and there so you can see what I did before. But yeah, I hope that you like, comment and subscribe, and I hope those things work for you, because behavior management is one of the hardest things to get on, and you have to be adapting and changing all the time, and I'm doing it constantly. So there's things that I did at the beginning of year 3 that I do not do at all now, because it just doesn't work. It's over with. They're over it now. So yeah, do like, comment and subscribe, and I will say the Spanish word of the day is el zumo de naranja. Wait, hold on, I'm probably saying it wrong. El zumo de naranja, which is the orange juice. Because I love orange juice. So I shall see you in the next video. Hasta luego.